Thank you so much for coming here. I'm really excited to present. It's really a milestone for me to be here and talking about my work, talking about my path. So I'm really honored. So as Professor Walk said, my thesis is from local to global, and it's talking about small, medium companies going global. So exporting and just going to other countries. And I was honored to work throughout the entire project with Professor Murtada Mohamed. Thank you so much for the mentorship. Thank you so much everybody for all the support. So with that, let's get started. So why small medium companies as a subject for my research? Well, because when I came to the US in 2022, I thought about myself as a small company somehow. You know, you come to a new country and you're like by yourself, you have to do your marketing. You have to figure out your legal aspect, your operation, everything that comes to a business. So I was my own business. And I reflect to small medium companies as innovative, agile, and resilient, which qualities that I really worked on throughout my path here. So 97%, what is it? And why also small medium companies matter? It's because 97% of the companies exporting in the US are small medium companies. So it's really huge. It's a big economic impact. It also accelerates local economies, it accelerates job creations, but it also has challenges. Because they're small, they have limited resources, so how do they figure it all out? That's what we're going to discover. So how can small, medium companies make a big impact globally without losing their core identity? Standardization vs localization. That's the key part. How do you standardize? So go abroad and limit cost and have the same products all across the world without losing your core, like what got you started in the very start. For me, it's probably the positivity. I brought it from France. I still have it here, but I'll probably adapt it the way I speak or anything else. So here you can see McDonald's, a McDonald's that's failing because it probably standardized too much, and a McDonald's that's thriving in France with the McBaguette, because we do love our baguette in France. So the McBaguette is a huge success at McDonald's. When I never get a bun there. I got my first real hamburger from McDonald's when I came in the US. Doesn't have the same ingredients, and that's a way to localize. Doesn't have the same marketing, and that's another way. So throughout my thesis, I really interviewed many people who work in the international fields, and one of them, Ben Ramirez, told me you need an international business plan that works in the US, won't always work abroad. There will be more quotes throughout the thesis to keep you entertained and discovering people's perspective about the thesis as well, but this first one is really key, because if you don't have a set plan at first, you won't figure it out. So that's a quick plan. Brand, adaptation, founding, digital partnership. We'll dive more into all the smaller parts later on in the research, but first off, the brand is really what you're going to take abroad. Remember that. So partnerships will have a deep dive and funding as well. Second quote, Stef van de Beever. This guy helps Netherlands businesses implement in the US and really scale their operations. So it's huge, he's based in Houston. I got the chance to interview him. He said the US is essentially 50 different markets, each with unique consumer behavior and business culture. Because if you go to New York, if you go to Texas, if you go to Oregon or Indiana, it's not going to be the same thing. They're not going to want the same needs. So from that, what makes it works really? Consistency for one, so your brand, again. Technology, usually if you have a software company, you're going to localize a bit less what you sell, and values, what really makes you going. So keep that, because people will recognize you for this. Flexibility, well, your culture will be different. If you have offices and you implement the same culture in the US as you implement in Japan, it'll definitely not work. If in France you don't put them 9 to 5 in office every day, it will build a revolution, you know? So products, you need to adapt as well. Thank you for laughing, really appreciate it. So the products, you need to adapt. Remember the baguette, the ingredients will be localized. You don't make a baguette out of the same ingredients you make a bun for. And the partners, key part of any success, will be really localized. For example, distributors, people who sell your job, you won't hire an international person necessarily, you might hire a local. Next quote, Jorge Canavati is a trade and logistic expert. He worked at the Port of San Antonio here in Texas, so he's an expert of distribution. Trust is everything. You can't have the best product or price, but if there is no trust, you won't close the deal. And that's especially more relevant in other cultures that are really relationship-based and won't make a business deal with you unless they really know you. So, as you can guess, there is a lot of problems when you export, especially when you're a small company. You have limited resources, you have limited funds, limited time, limited experience, and you have to figure it all out. So legal aspect can make or break you. If you don't have the right resources, it won't work. And so there are solutions to all that. And we'll dive deeper into it later. Next quote, Dr. Chip Peters, so fun. His quote is really like the best. Signing a distributor is like entering a marriage. Easy to start, messy to divorce, verified for 5 I didn't change that quote, it's really what he said. And I was really happy to hear that because it's really true. And he works in Malaysia for the US Commercial Services. And so he helps like companies import, export, do manufacturing and distribution. And yeah, so distribution is key. You have help around you. Let's say you want to start a small business tomorrow. You can go to export promotion centers that will get you started, verify your idea if it's actually viable, trade support, resources, they'll connect you to distributors, maximize the efficiency of your meetings, and really help you develop faster. Sarah Romanko said small businesses need to be hyper-focused on one country, one region, and a solid strategy. Why? Not because it will make them successful, because she is a venture capital expert, and she will not fund your small business if your plan doesn't go through. And so convincing people like her really make it worth like putting more effort in your plan. Then 3 takeaways. Translate less, travel more. Why? Because like if you keep on translating your labels, yes, you might be more understood through the country, but if you don't understand their culture and can really make an impact, it won't work as well. Know your niche, again. If you sell software, if you sell baguette, it won't be the same target market, and you really have to know from the very manufacturing part to the ingredients, to the distribution, to the selling and marketing, it has to adapt through every country. And don't be a tourist, be a local, because of course, like when you go and sell anything you want, do you hire local? Do you hire someone and you make them immigrate to the new country and hope they will understand the culture? That whole are things to consider that the export promotion trade assistance programs can help you figure out. So where do we go from here? And why I care, why it matters. So small, medium companies, remember 97% of the total exporting companies are small businesses. But also, 3 million companies in the US are small businesses. Which means that maybe these 3 million companies, if they had the resources and the time and the support, they could be also exporting, getting into like maybe 99.9% of companies being small businesses exporting. So how do you do that? You rethink the export assistance program. Because it starts from the top. It starts from the government entities that can help harmonizing all those regulations. If it's the same for everybody, they just have a step-by-step process to make it happen and make it real. And then strive to eliminate those trade barriers, because we're not just like staying here and doing business in our communities. Improving all that will help the world and us, and you will also make money for the US and the local companies, but you might also have like a good outcome abroad. And finally, standardized supportive system helps small, medium companies thrive. So on that note, you should join the Global Affairs Society, which I created with Professor Mohammed this semester, last semester as well, which is like, you can make an impact now as a student, as a professor. I connect our student body with people with an international mind, like all the people I interviewed. And they really open your mind, they really make you understand that we're more global than we think. You know, all of us has this part, especially right now with globalization. We're all like super cool, global-minded people, I'm sure. So on that, what's next? Next time I do research on AI and how it can improve our small medium companies by connecting resources. And why that? Because I'm getting my master at Johns Hopkins in business analytics and AI. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mohammed, the professor here. What a great, outstanding presentation here. Please give her a second hand. If I will grab a picture or a headline, it's that McDonald's and the packet bread. That sums it all, really. Standardization versus localization. These are real challenges, as you highlighted in there, for small and medium-sized companies. And that is very timely. It is very timely right now. And of course, the conclusion here that we have, how we could really move forward on it, and the government work to harmonize trade barriers, as Melanie mentioned. Of course, things change every day. So what we talk about here today might change tomorrow, literally tomorrow. But at least we understand in the classroom and through the community here the things that it takes to really continue to play a global role. Export, as Melanie mentioned, play a big role in economic development. I believe every 5,000 jobs created by $1 billion of export. And don't quote me on this statistic, that's my memory. But it is job creation, job creation, job creation. Now, one thing about Melody, actually, is more than one thing working with Melody, though. And you can see she interviewed so many people in there. And she was adamant about this is not a paper that we could write in here, sitting on the towers, classrooms, going to the library, back and forth. She was adamant about reaching out to those who are in the field. And some of the references she mentioned in Malaysia, Dr. Chip Peters, she literally, you call it 5 p.m., it was 8 a.m. his time in Malaysia, and his thoughts and input really played a big role in what you said. Also in Florida, and the supply chain part of it as well. So thank you so much, Melody, for really being who you are, and congratulations again. And I'm so honored now to present you with the honors robe at the court.
Yeah. Dr. Mohammed, the court. Oh, sorry. Melanie will wear at graduation, and this is something that she'll wear in honor, of course, of the amazing work she's done with Professor Mohammed on this thesis, but also in recognition of the amazing contribution